According to Sports Pro, Caitlyn Clark is the fourth most marketable athlete in the world. Yeah, not just female athlete, not just in the United States, but in the entire world.
Have you taken note of Caitlyn Clark's recent actions? Instead of just signing a contract, she changed the sponsorship conditions. In addition to being novel, Clark's new $13 billion collaboration is also where things start to get really intriguing. You won't believe how some WNBA players have responded to this deal, which could transform the game as Clark begins to make significant changes. As we examine the drama, including A.A. Wilson's response that incorporates women's basketball, stay tuned.
How? In what way? What does she sell out tens of thousands of Wilson basketballs in 40 minutes? I mean, what has A'ja Wilson done to say that she is worth every penny and then some?
Wilson and High are working together to produce Caitlyn Clark basketballs in eye-catching yellow and purple. The Dreamer and Tribute versions are the ideal present for fans and will be on sale in time for the holidays. Everyone is chatting about this innovative partnership and eye-catching advertisements.
Here, they just had this go, and this is the Hy-Vee Instagram account. Again, Wilson, Caitlyn Clark, really smart, very cool video, lots of smiling faces.
This $13 billion partnership exemplifies Wilson's aptitude at identifying talent. Nike, however, erred. Wilson took a daring and revolutionary decision when he first recognized Caitlyn Clark's potential. Now, let's revisit the moment when Wilson signed Clark. It was a brilliant move.
Caitlyn Clark just did something nobody has done since Michael Jordan. Wilson Sporting Goods signed the WNBA star to a multi-year deal. She's the first female athlete to have her own collection with Wilson, and it will be built similar to Jordan's collection in the 1980s that included those signature basketballs.
Social media went crazy as soon as the sale was made public, with everyone discussing Wilson's purchase of game share Caitlyn Clark. By doing something they had only ever done once, with Michael Jordan himself, they took a significant risk. Wilson had just brought about a revolution in women's sports.
Only athlete to have a signature basketball with Wilson other than Michael freaking Jordan. Wilson's head of global partnership said, "We haven't done a deal of this magnitude since we did one with Michael Jordan 30 to 40 years ago."
Tens of thousands of basketballs were swiftly gone when Clark's first basketball was published, since it sold out in a couple of minutes. Given Michael Jordan, this is noteworthy. There are the important people, and I'm not aware of any athlete in recent memory who sells at this level. As of right now, Caitlyn Clark is just the second athlete in history to buy a Wilson basketball. Caitlyn Clark is an advocate for her product. This is what I was discussing previously. Caitlyn Clark is a salesperson. She released the first Clark-inspired basketball in September, and it sold out in under 40 minutes. Almost instantly, tens of thousands of basketballs were picked up. Wilson, however, is not content to stop there. Clark will see something in her that they have never seen before thanks to their incredible preparations. Wilson is placing a lot of bets on her star power, her abilities on the court, and her capacity to engage with fans and drive sales. And it's paying off so far.
I don't know that I can name an athlete in recent memory that is sold at this level. And there's the key, folks. Caitlyn Clark moves products. Caitlyn Clark moves merchandise. And here's what I was talking about too. They mentioned it here. Where in September, Wilson dropped the first Clark-inspired basketball. It sold out in under 40 minutes. Tens of thousands of basketballs snapped up almost instantly.
Clark is not only transforming the game on the court, but also in marketing conferences and boardrooms across the sports business. What implications does this dramatic change have for women's sports organizations? What are their thoughts on female athletes? How do they advertise to sports enthusiasts? What is their general opinion on women's sports?
And shout out to Wilson. I think we all really, really appreciate what Wilson has done. They seem to be the only business, the only entity that has taken Caitlyn Clark at face value for what and who she is and the opportunities that can bring. Fully, completely embraced her, been great with their marketing. Product drops, I mean, I don't even know how many different basketballs now, but they've made multiple product drops with, limited quantity, I guess you could say. They're sold out right away. They keep doing more.
Wilson and Clark will be extremely passive in their influence on women's sports, but they will be taking things to the next level. Are you prepared to watch what a $13 billion alliance will do next? This acquisition of Wilson is only the first step. The twist to Caitlyn Clark's latest huge move is as follows. In order to incorporate women's sports, she teamed up with Wilson and Hay, the huge Midwest grocery company, instead of accepting a personal contract.
You can see here, Caitlyn Clark lands $13 billion brand collab as WNBA stars bond with Wilson grows deeper. And that's the cool part, man. Shout out to Wilson.
Deepens. And dude, that's the cool part. Wilson, even though you're imagining a chain of stores, this isn't your typical business. Instead, they are a major retail company that is fully focusing on Caitlyn Clark. However, they're not merely putting her name on a box of cereal. Instead, they're producing something completely original and fascinating.
This is a collaboration with supermarket chain Hy-Vee. They rake in more than $13 billion annually. Huge company, just in time for
The intriguing portion is about to begin. Who's back in the mix, you ask? Because they resemble Clark off the court, Hy is creating special limited edition basketballs dubbed the Clark Dreams and Tribute Wilson basketballs. A kind of super squad is being formed by Wilson and Hay.
And what this is Hy-Vee has announced an exclusive, yeah, that's right, an exclusive drop of Caitlyn Clark's Dreamer and Tribute Wilson basketballs. Very cool. Big deal. Good job, Wilson. You know they probably went and put this together. I mean, maybe Hy-Vee contacted Caitlyn Clark first, but, you know, it's probably the type of thing.
But why is this such a significant issue? It addresses the ramifications for marketing women's sports. This type of cooperation is revolutionary and is establishing a new benchmark for future partnerships between female athletes and major organizations. Remember that they have been there for Caitlyn Clark at every turn, demonstrating their dedication to her path from the beginning. You may recall their support of the Caitlyn Clark Foundation during her time in Iowa.
And get this, Hy-Vee says it's making a donation to the Caitlyn Clark Foundation in honor of her record. $35,690 will be donated. In Clark's basketball career, she's scored 3,569 points to beat the old record.
In contributing to the development of goods that share her narrative. According to Wilson, every ball symbolizes a different phase in Clark's professional life. From her time at Iowa to her rise to fame in the WNBA. This makes sense since brand development is more important than marketing. She was ranked as the 4th most marketable athlete in the world by Sport Pro.
And then at number 4, Caitlyn Clark, LeBron James at 3, Vinicius Jr., who is a Brazilian soccer star, and number 1 being Simone Biles. As you can see, Caitlyn Clark is the only WNBA player in the top 10, and she's actually the only WNBA player in the top 20.
What are the future ramifications of this? Perhaps more businesses will begin to take chances like this, work together more creatively, and contribute more to women's sports. Perhaps the figures won't come as a surprise the next time a female athlete accepts a deal. Rather, we'll be anticipating them.
While strengthening the partnerships she's already built. From basketballs flying off shelves to multi-million-dollar endorsements, TC is at the forefront of athlete brand.
Wilson and Hive are standing by Clark, but what about Nike? You would assume that they would be interested by now, but things start to become interesting at this point. The $28 million contract Clark earned with Nike seems unreal. Fans were left wondering where the Clark shoes, jerseys, and extensive marketing effort were, however, since the sports behemoth never replied.
And her WNBA season has come and gone. And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials. We have not seen any ads. We have not seen any Caitlyn Clark merchandise. And we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlyn Clark signature shoes. It is mind-blowing.
Clark's popularity isn't really surprising considering how swiftly sports marketing advances and how Nike consistently misses opportunities to leverage it. Despite the fact that her jersey sales have increased by 500%. Despite Clark's star power being a day missed customers' eagerness to purchase, Nike isn't making any money.
Yeah, where is Caitlyn Clark's shoe? Jersey sales skyrocketed by 500% this season. Where's the shoe, folks? Where?
Industry insiders are similarly baffled, claiming that rather than ostensibly placing Clark on the bench, Nike ought to have introduced shoe lines, placed her face on billboards, and taken other actions.
Where's the shoe, folks? Where is it? Paige Becker recently landed her own signature shoe. Crappy shoe, but she got one. And yeah, you're right. Vocal. Of course. Why not? We should be vocal. Absolutely ridiculous.
According to reports, Nike prefers A.A. Wilson's footwear to Caitlyn Clark's. However, from the standpoint of marketability, it is not feasible because Caitlyn Clark's shoes are obviously better than A.A. Wilson's.
He reports Nike wants to prioritize A'ja Wilson, and it fears the optics of giving a rookie a signature shoe before an already established star who just won league MVP for the third time. We have talked about this multiple times on my channel. Is A'ja Wilson currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlyn Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if A'ja Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlyn Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlyn Clark would outsell A'ja's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be the...
When Nike takes over, things get pretty crazy because Wilson sells out of basketballs in a matter of minutes while other businesses are creating unique merchandise. Like everyone else, Nike recognizes Clark's worth.
It's an absolute and utter embarrassment. Nike should be shut down simply out of shame for the way they have treated Caitlyn.
Despite this, Clark is demonstrating that women's sports can generate a substantial income. With the exception of Nike, it appears like everyone is now profiting from this. What's the matter? Is the largest women's basketball brand, Nike, making a grave mistake, or do they know something we don't?
She had the craziest momentum that we have ever seen with any athlete in the history of ever. And the fact that Nike did not capitalize on that, the fact that they are the biggest athletic sportswear brand in the world, and we didn't hear a peep out of them the entire season, it truly makes me wonder, like, if I were Caitlyn Clark's management, and again, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I would be truly rethinking the deal that I signed up for.
There is yet more to the story. Additionally, an Enviousa is currently in the Nike boardroom, seemingly in reaction to Caitlyn Clark's incredible new contract. They don't take advantage of their most attractive basketball player. It would be comparable to keeping a Ferrari in the garage. Many are doubting if Wilson's announcement of a 6-year deal extension with Nike can actually compete with Clark's unrivaled commercial domination, and fans are guessing that his actions are motivated by jealousy.
A'ja Wilson, Nike, agreed a 6-year contract extension after third WNBA MVP, which was, of course, one of those participation entitlement MVPs. She was awarded the MVP before the season started because of the complaint campaign that she should have gotten it the year before instead of Breanna Stewart.
On social media, there is a lot of reaction. While some fans are supporting Wilson, others are accusing her of making a phony bargain. There is disagreement within the WNBA community over the significance of these partnerships in the evolving women's basketball scene. I appreciate you watching my video.